Hello and welcome to the Fabulous Women Podcast Studio. I'm your host, Kim Allen. Oh my gosh, I say this about every episode, but this is one episode that everybody, if you're not watching this and you're just listening, at some point you have to promise me you're going to go back and watch this video because of my very, very special guest. I want to welcome Susan Louie. Susan, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Kim. I'm
Yes.
so honored to be here because of who you are. You are amazing with all of
Okay.
your credentials.
Yeah. Okay. So when she compliments me, everyone, I pay her a lot of money to say these things. So I just want you to know. Okay. All right. I'll tell you why I love Susan for a million reasons, but here's one. Okay. A lot of people tell me that I have more energy than 10 people, and that is 100% true. And I'm thinking, I've never met my match. I don't know what it's like to meet Kim Allen. All right. Right. Okay. So I've spent some time with this beautiful woman. She is truly amazing. But I'm going to put this in the ground, my stake in the ground, and just say one thing, because this is like the aha moment of the entire episode. Has everyone here or anyone here watched the drama series? I believe it was on Netflix called Orange is the New Black. So it's a very popular show, and a lot of women came to the forefront as like amazing actresses. I think it went 7 seasons, very popular, very successful. Well, one thing that I've been noticing, and it's so important that everyone knows this, that a lot of the women that I've been speaking to recently are in their 70s. 70, okay? 70s. So 70s is the new black. And anyone that coins that phrase and says you did it, I will come after you. This is so true, my friends, that the women in 70s is the new black. And I'll tell you why. They have more energy than women or people half their age, number one. The wisdom that they bring to the table is unequaled, number two. And number three, yeah, these women that I'm meeting, they're not ready for the pasture at all. So I don't know about you, but like I always meet people and say, even if they're younger than me, I always say like, they're who I want to be when I grow up. Susan is who I want to be when I grow up. All right. All right. So Susan is a transformational life coach. She's a public speaker. And the name of this episode, and pay attention because it really affects everyone that's going to be listening to this. It's called Ageless Energy. I hate to say the word age. All right. I'm just going to call it energy. Unlocking the mind, sleep, and are you ready? Leadership potential within us. And Susan does it in a way that I've never met anyone who does this. She is becoming renowned globally for this. I'm honored to have her here. So, Susan, again, thank you so much. I'm going to start asking you some questions in just a couple seconds here. Before I do that, I have two asks. Do you have anything that you want to say to anyone before we begin? It can be anything at all.
I'm honored to be on your podcast. And after just meeting you and seeing my twin, I mean, they say life is a mirror.
Yes.
I couldn't wait for this episode.
I know, right? I wake up thinking about you like, oh my gosh, the two of us together, we're like an explosion, right? I love that.
Yeah.
I love that about us.
Good energy.
Good energy. Absolutely. And I can imagine your clients, how they benefit from that.
Oh, they do.
Right. Okay. We're going to talk about that. Okay. So everyone knows me, loves my questions. And I always put them in different buckets because it's not like, so who are you? What do you do? I'm always really curious about what my guests have to say, but I'm really curious about Susan because I don't know anything about this. So she's going to tell you who she is, what she does. So let me get started. Is that okay, Susan?
It's okay.
Beautiful. All right. So my first questions are really about you. It's about your story. And this is really going to set the stage for the entire episode. So Susan, you have the energy of someone half your age. I just said that. What keeps your mind and body so vibrant at what? 75?
Let me first read a disclaimer because I am a rapid transformational therapist. And I think this is like just, housekeeping that has to be said.
Mm-hmm.
The work I do with, I'm reading, with Rapid Transformational Therapy, I'm going to call it RTT, is designed for individuals who are dealing with limiting blocks or patterns they want to change. RTT is not a substitute for psychiatric care or working with a licensed mental health or medical professional. If you're managing serious mental conditions or are currently in crises, please consult your doctor or psychiatric first. So now with that out of the way, I can answer your question.
Okay.
All right. Energy half my age. I move. Moving is medicine. So I practice jujitsu. I swing on monkey bars and I trail run every morning. And every other day, in between doing those every day, I do weight training on the different parts of my body. So not only do I play hard, I work hard. I'm just pivoting into speaking from having a therapy practice for 4 years and having learned and read and experienced so much with so many people, because I had a TV show for 17 years. So I've had thousands of clients. I now want to reach the masses instead of the one-to-ones. Because even my TV show is a live show and it was one-to-one with call-ins.
Okay.
So I play hard, I work hard, and this is non-negotiable, sleeping. I get excellent sleep scores. I don't have my tracker on. It's charging. Sleeping. You have to recover from all the playing, from all the working, and you have to regenerate and rejuvenate.
Okay.
And that's
So,
why I'm half my age.
okay. So I'm back on monkey bars. All right. So let's talk about that. All right. First of all, everyone that's watching or listening, I'm exhausted just listening to what she does. Okay. I'm exhausted that she gets up every day and trail runs. I don't even trail walk. Okay. That's not true. I like to do that, but not every day. Then you work out. Okay. I'll tell you when I fell in love with Susan. We were talking and having such a great time, and we're going to be meeting up, right? Because we love each other. But this is what she told me. And I was like, this is a very special woman. She is an anomaly. All right. She said, and correct me if I'm wrong, Susan, that when you go to the gym, that there are monkey bars, like the hoops, right?
Yeah.
That you swing every other one.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even do that in grade school on the playground. Okay. Never. All right. So you do that. Okay. I can imagine her like every other one. Okay. I think I should be doing stand up. I would have people hysterical laughing just at the description of me trying to do that because it'll never happen. But anyway, at the end of the day, you said something, and I just want to say this because this actually affected my mother. You said something about grip. So can you tell the audience about that?
Yeah. If you Google gripping for longevity, gripping is the best indicator for longevity. And I want to live a long, long time thriving. So I started out with just dead man hang, and that was hard. Just hanging there, just grip. Well, no, before that, I even started with free weights.
Okay.
Lower, and then you increase,
Right.
And then from there, I don't know if most people probably tried rock climbing, but then you have your feet to help you.
Right.
Yeah. So, but it's gripping. Just do any kind of gripping.
Okay.
And then, of course, I graduated into the dead man hang. And then from dead man hang, you do pull-ups, and then you do chin-ups, and you widen your arms because it's even harder. And then from there, I'm like, what else? And that's when I started with the monkey bars. And I don't know what else after that. I just keep going. I'll go. My gym has 16 rungs, so I'll go back and forth 8 times. But the hard part?
I'm sorry.
The turning, because you're hanging by one arm the longest, and then the other arm the longest, and you go back to go in the opposite direction. And yeah.
Susan, who are you? Okay. I can't even envision doing that, let alone swing from that. But I will tell you, so gripping, let me just be clear with you. Gripping is not like when I'm gripping that, like I'm nervous about going on the roller coaster. That's not that kind of gripping. This is actual, right? This is actual physical gripping and doing the dead man hang. Right. So for me, everyone, that would be like the dead woman fall off and kill yourself. So when it comes to that, you do not want to look at me as being the expert. You want to look at Susan. You're really just so amazing. I do have a quick question. So how long ago was it when you started doing all of this?
Well, the jiu-jitsu was just this year.
Okay. So
a year ago, within the year.
How about swinging on the monkey bars?
That started about 4 years ago.
Okay. So you were still in your 70s.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You're amazing. Okay. Okay. When we're finished this episode, I'm going to do everything that you do. All right. I want to be just like you. All right. So before RTT, before being a rapid transformational therapy practitioner, you experienced chronic pain, anxiety, and autoimmune challenges. Susan, what was the turning point that changed everything for you?
The turning point was discovering RTT.
Okay.
So I learned about RTT. RTT involves hypnosis, hypnotherapy, and I did self-hypnosis once I learned about it. Instantly, chronic pain disappeared, chronic anxiety disappeared. My next endocrinologist visit, and she does the ultrasound.
Right.
The misshapen thyroid with all the nodules, gone. Perfect pink walnut. My doctor was shocked. RTT, self-hypnosis.
Wow. Oh,
but the self-hypnosis, you have to get to the root.
Right.
And I was able to do that. Okay, I was able to do that. A lot of people, if let's say you have roots of whatever symptoms or issues, you need someone to maybe facilitate or guide you as to when, where, and why you have whatever symptoms you have, like anxiety or insomnia or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's that powerful. The mind
is
just, amazing.
Right. Wow.
But for me, my adrenals were shot from like the first 70 years of my life, just being hyper vigilant, and they were shot. And then that's what caused the Hashimoto's and created the anxiety and all the pain. And because I was running. My past is I was running from homeless men, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. Danger everywhere, my whole life, until I discovered RTT and turned around, faced my 3-year-old little Susan and said, "Are you in danger anymore?" And I wasn't. And that's how I released it. Because the body keeps score. You may have heard that. There you go. The body remembers what the mind forgot. And I lived in danger for 70 years. And that's why all that chronic pain and anxiety came about. And the Hashimoto's.
Wow.
My body was exhausted. And until I calmed my nervous system down, was I able to turn everything around and stop running away, because I was running away.
Right.
And now I run towards health, my freedom, my empowerment, my dreams.
Wow.
Yeah.
Susan, that's so powerful.
Yeah, it is.
You discovered RTT through Marissa Peer, and then you decided to become certified yourself. What made you realize that this could transform not only your life, but the lives of others?
Well, once I transformed myself, and not just the physical, when I got rid of the pain and anxiety and the Hashimoto's, I said, well, what else can RTT do? And when you grow up in extreme poverty, maybe not everyone, but I did, I came from scarcity and a lot of lack. And I didn't have much self-confidence. I had low self-esteem. And I thought to myself, what could it do for my mental or emotional? Self-hypnosis.
Wow.
And now became a founder and a CEO of InnerPeace.life. And now I want to get on stage.
Oh, that's going to happen for you.
Yes.
For sure. Okay.
It's happening. I'm going to be a keynote in 3 months.
Yeah, well, of course you are. World, right? Look at this gorgeous woman. Okay. So understanding RTT and the mind, because you're talking about that. So for listeners who may not be familiar with RTT, what exactly happens in an RTT session?
Okay, there's all this paperwork initially. And then when you have the session, and it could be online or it could be first face to face.
Okay.
Either way, it's just as effective.
Okay.
So we use hypnotherapy, and with the hypnotherapy, we speak to the subconscious. I speak to your subconscious, whatever your issue is that you want dissolved. And once I speak to your subconscious, I bring the subconscious up to the conscious. And when it becomes conscious, then you can make different decisions. And like I made, with everything that disappeared, and now I'm making different decisions. But it's through that hypnotherapy that you can, because the subconscious will always override the conscious. The subconscious is 90 to 95% of your operating system. You're just not even aware. Most people are in autopilot, working with the 5 or the 10% of their conscious mind. And that's where the habits and the beliefs are all formed, through the conscious mind.
Right.
So that's why you have to do a deep dive into the subconscious, which lives in your nervous system. So you have to get into that, get out of the beta brainwave, get into the alpha or theta brainwaves to speak subconscious. And usually all your habits and beliefs live in that subconscious from decisions that you made when you were young. Because out of survival, any child needs to be heard, seen, and held. And if you're not, you're going to make up stuff to keep yourself safe. But that's all survival. And then you're always living in fear. Like I always lived looking for danger till I was 70.
Right.
Until I turned around and faced, little Susan and said, "Are you in danger?" I wasn't.
Right. Right.
My nervous system was always on high alert.
Right. Right.
So that's okay. And then at the end of the session, you leave with a personalized audio, which integrates your new decisions, the new choices that you want for your life. Because you can retrain and relearn, new habits and have new beliefs. And you listen to that audio for 21 to 30 days where there's follow-up. But the mind loves repetition. So you listen to that audio.
Right.
For 21 to 30 days.
And that does the trick.
And that does the trick for the one issue.
For the one issue. Okay. So for you then, what you're saying is that it's important to address the patterns instead of just managing the symptoms, because what you said, you're the example that you managed those symptoms until 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
So an example would be like insomnia. I slept for 7 decades, maybe 2 to 3 hours a night, just hyper, just even afraid to sleep. A knife under my pillow, believe it or not, when I went away. Just always looking out for danger. So insomnia is just a symptom of something else deeper. And with RTT, you find out what the cause is of that symptom.
Right.
So for my insomnia, which is a symptom of my always living in danger.
Right.
And so we had to get to the root, which was me living in hypervigilance.
Right.
Chronic overthinking, fear, survival.
Right.
And once we got to the root, he pulled it out, because I went to an RTT right after I did the self-hypnosis first.
Okay.
And then that's when he pulled out the root, and then the symptom of the insomnia disappeared, and I just started tracking my sleep, and now I get excellent sleep scores. Same thing with anxiety. Anxiety is only a symptom. The root of the anxiety is what you have to address and remove so that you can have freedom from the anxiety. If you're always managing the anxiety, the symptom, it's exhausting.
Right.
It's already more exhausting than the exhaustion.
Right. Exactly. You're exhausted from being exhausted.
Yeah. So RTT, you get to the root, the reason and the why you have whatever symptoms you have.
Right.
Instead of just every day, every moment addressing
right
symptom.
right
To the
okay
root.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is all I'm learning so much more about it because of you. But so that my next set of questions ties into leadership because I'm the leadership girl, right?
Mhm.
I'm that woman. I'm just completely committed to leadership effectiveness.
Yeah.
So you work with executives and entrepreneurs and high performing professionals. What are the most common mental blocks that you see in leaders today, Susan?
Burnout, indecision, fatigue, poor health,
Yeah.
broken relationships, those
Yeah.
4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And so when you're living out of some kind of survival, and that survival is normally some fear,
Right.
you're not able to strategically live your life because you're living it out of reactions.
Mm.
So when you're always reactivated, your emotional regulation suffers, your creativity suffers, your leadership is going to suffer.
Right.
So you need to calm the nervous system, get out of the fear, and live more strategically. So for those that have just that I've had RTT sessions with, what happens is they get rid of the second guessing themselves, the
Mm.
doubting themselves. They start trusting themselves,
Mm.
and then they have more energy because you're not living on burnout and your health is
Right.
poor and your relationships are now thriving with you,
Right.
and so you have just more energy. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Mhm.
Right. You actually answered my next question because again, how does clearing subconscious beliefs actually improve leadership and decision making? I can promise that a lot of folks that are listening or watching this right now would not have put those two together.
Right, right.
Now it's so obvious, Susan.
Yeah. See, you have to see a lot of leaders are their nervous systems, they're running on fumes because they probably aren't sleeping. So if your nervous system is even fried, how are you gonna lead?
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
So
Yeah, that absolutely goes toward effectiveness because I mean, let's face it, if we're all walking in a building together, right? And you've got people who are frontline managers, middle managers, senior leadership, and then executive leadership, everyone pulls up in the parking lot and everyone walks through the door, but no one knows each other's story, what they came from. It could
mm-mm.
be a war zone at home, and the war zone could be that they can't sleep. Yet
Mm,
they walk in at 7 o'clock in the morning and they're working till 6 o'clock at night, exhausted. And they're making decisions on business decisions. They're making people decisions, leadership, who's going to be in leadership. And if they're not doing that, being well rested, that affects everything.
oh, yes,
That's scary to think
it
about.
is. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's really leadership hygiene. It's not about the night, it's not about the calendar. It
Yes.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that. I love that phrase. Everyone hear that phrase from Susan? Leadership hygiene. And that's not like comb your hair. That
Yeah.
is not that kind of hygiene or brush your teeth. Okay.
And the
So
reason I work with leaders is because everything trickles down to the whole
absolutely.
team.
They're
So,
in charge.
yeah, if you're wired and tired, everybody else is gonna feel it.
Right.
And then they're gonna be living out of fear,
Right.
because you're gonna be
Oh,
snapping
yeah.
at them and not patient, and yeah. So
Yeah.
it's important to just reach the top, and that's why I work with the C-suiters and leaders and thought leaders, yeah. Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you talk about unblocking untapped potential, Susan, what does that look like in someone once those mental barriers are removed? So again, give me an example of John Smith or Sue Smith or Jane Doe, doesn't matter. But what's an example of what they were before and after?
Okay, so like I said before, they stop second guessing themselves, they start
Mhm.
trusting themselves. But you're happier. The after would be you're
Right.
happier.
Right.
And if you're happier, you're gonna live longer.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
Yeah. And so just being happier, that's gonna trickle down to your whole team.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So that's why it's just like critical
Yep.
to
No,
have
it
that
is. It
energy,
is. I'm sorry. You went out for a second. Go ahead.
have that energy,
Yeah.
that joyful, that calmer energy. And that's
Yeah.
the after, because the before is, you're wired and tired.
Yeah. I mean, I think it lends itself to also being fully present.
Yeah.
which is such a problem with leaders. Okay, so you talk a lot about sleep and nervous system and energy. So my next questions are toward that. Susan, one topic that you're passionate about is sleep and nervous system recovery. Why is sleep such a critical component of leadership performance? We talked about, again, wired and tired. But can you give us an example of a client, no name, no nothing, just an example of John Doe or whoever, of how that changed their performance? And was it not just the way that they showed up? Was it in a way that increased their team performance? I'm sure that they've talked about that.
I can think of 2 right offhand that have come to me with like 6 different issues.
Oh, okay.
But with RTT, you work on one issue at a time. So I'll take a pen and I'll go, if this is a magic wand, which one issue do you want to work on now, today, and dissolve?
Okay.
And let's say they come to me with a sugar addiction, maybe another addiction, or insomnia, procrastination, motivation, confidence, whatever.
Right.
So the one that they always choose is they say to me, I want to sleep. Makes sense, right? Because if you get your sleep, you can manage mostly everything else better.
Right.
So we always work on sleep.
Okay.
And then because they're able to manage other things better, they'll come to me later because they're hungry for more to
Okay.
get rid of maybe some other issue.
Right. They saw that it worked.
So sleep is so important. Now, this is going to sound simplistic, but it's intake, outtake. If you're constantly putting out, your cup is going to become empty.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're not able to come from overflow and
Mm.
really even like be kind or lead well with
Mm-hmm.
your teams.
Right.
So it's important that you sleep, you recover, you regenerate and rejuvenate your body. It's just critical. It's just so important that intake so that you can have output.
Right.
That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, and I know in my journey that there are people, some leaders who they wear exhaustion like a badge of honor. They look like hell. They show up poorly. They treat people horribly. They've got bags under their eyes, and they are, oh, I haven't slept for 5 days. And I'm thinking, like, for me, even way back when, I would think to myself, well, isn't your body going to shut down from that? And I know nothing about that, right? But even back then, I just sent up red flags. But if someone is listening tonight struggling with insomnia, because you bring that up, or poor sleep, what is one shift that they can start making immediately, Susan?
Okay, immediately. Let's say you wake up at 3 a.m. every night or morning, and you can't go back to sleep, or you haven't. The first thing you're going to say is, I'm going to be exhausted tomorrow.
Yes.
In saying it that, and in that way, what are you doing to your nervous system? You're putting it in high alert.
Absolutely.
So the first thing that I tell clients to do is say instead, and say it quietly, and you repeat it, I choose to rest. I want peace. My past patterns are no longer important to me. I deserve to sleep. I want calm. My pillow is comforting my head. My bed is hugging my body. My comforter is comforting me. Say things that are going to have your nervous system calm down. You do not want it on high alert.
Right.
And another thing, like you don't want to say, I want to fall asleep. If you use the word fall, what's that telling your nervous system? Oh no, I'm going to fall. I got to stay up, because if she's going to fall, I got to be ready to, be safe.
Right.
And you never want to say, I want to go to sleep, because right away your body is like, oh, we're going somewhere. Oh, if we're going somewhere, I got to stay up.
Right.
So you want to speak the internal mind shifts in a way that creates calm. That creates peace. That's the first thing I tell my clients. It's in the way you think. And then the way you think creates how you feel. And the way you feel will create the actions. So that's the first thing. Yes, if you want to take melatonin and magnesium in a cool, dark, light room, you want all of that external quick fixes, if it works, it works, but it usually doesn't work long term.
Okay.
And that's why I have the disclaimer too. If you have a CPAP or you have anything
Right.
medical, mechanical, just see your doctor about that. And
Right.
yes, it's all complimentary what I'm telling you that
Right.
will help you sleep,
Right.
the internal mind shifts. But if your body is on alert, that is biologically incompatible with sleeping. You're just not going to sleep.
Mm.
You're not. So
Okay.
it all starts here. Right?
Okay.
Words, images, they create your reality, mind over matter, where your
True.
focus goes, your energy. It all starts here.
Right.
So have those internal mind shifts. And that's the first thing I tell all my clients about sleeping.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
internal mind shift. I like that. That's
Mhm.
so important.
Mhm.
Okay. So for my last set of questions, when we're talking about longevity and vitality and reinvention, Susan, you practice jitsu, you run, you swing on monkey bars for grip strength. What have you learned about longevity and staying strong as I don't want to say AGE, but as we move along in our life?
I just feel younger every day because my body is so strong and free. What I've learned about longevity, it isn't about a number.
Right.
My birth certificate says I'll be 75 in a couple of months. But then I've done this test where they do the muscle and the fat and the
Mhm.
bone and they take into account your body, water, your VO2, your sleep, everything. And then they spit out this metabolic age. And for me, my body's in my 50s, which
Wow.
which of course that's going to add to my happiness,
Of course.
to my joy, to my productivity, to my relationships, to just following my schedule and
Right.
following my menu.
Right. S-
Yeah.
So have you always been a runner? So let me just say where I'm going with this. So about 4 years ago was when everything changed in your life. So
Mhm.
prior to that, were you doing monkey bars
Mm.
and running? So you
Right.
didn't
I was running, but I was running out of fear. I was running away. My body
you're
was always
physically running and in
physically
your mind,
running.
and then in your physically you're running, mentally you're
Both.
running, but you were running away.
Right,
So
right.
it was not relaxing. Okay.
And now I, like I said before, I'm running towards my health, my
Right.
freedom, my
Right.
empowerment, and it feels good. No more danger lurking everywhere. Can't
Right.
sleep. Right. There's a
So
huge difference, and I'm thriving now. I'm no longer just surviving.
oh.
Huge difference.
Yes. So I just haven't because I'm so curious about this. Once you started with RTT, so 4 years ago you started doing that and it
Mhm,
has transformed your life.
mhm.
When you had that aha moment, how far into RTT were you? And what was your aha moment? Do you remember where you were and what happened?
Well, the aha moments were when the pain disappeared, and I wasn't, like, afraid anymore all the time. It
Okay.
just happened instantly. Like, I could go to sleep where I live now, and I've always been safe. I've been here 32 years. Lock the doors, check the lock, making sure you know how many times a night I had to check it, check if anybody's behind. I mean, I was fearful all the time.
Okay.
Well, that's just stopped. And now, and then I started sleeping. I would leave the front door open, the back door open, and just have the screen door locked. I would not do that before 4 years ago. I was checking the locks and the windows all the time. No.
Okay. So promise me you don't sleep with your door open and the screen door with the lock.
Well,
Just
now with
promise.
jujitsu, I'm not afraid of nobody.
I know
Nobody.
because you could kick my butt, and I'm so clear about that. And I love that about you. I need to go take that too. Okay. Wow. All right. So I love this. Okay. So I have a couple more questions. Um, so you're transitioning in your life. You've been transitioning for the past 4 years, but you're transitioning now toward more speaking and larger impact. Susan, what is driving this next chapter in your life?
I want to reach the masses with RTT because
Okay.
what it's done to my life, I just have to make well, I've been a nurturer as a little girl. So
Okay.
this is like a natural progression for me to, be in therapy and to
Right.
heal others.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah. And I want to reach the masses. It's just too good.
Right. Well, you're experiencing that. And I love that you are your message.
Yeah.
You are your message because this happened to you.
I don't just talk the talk, I walk the walk.
Oh, absolutely. Right. And you swing the monkey bars as well.
Swing-
So for some closing inspiration for my wonderful audience who are listening and also watching this, Susan, if someone listening or if they feel stuck in their life right now, mentally, emotionally, or professionally, what would you want them to know about their ability to change?
If I can change after 7 decades, I want to tell you you're not broken.
Mm,
And most of our habits and our beliefs are learned
right.
patterns, conditions.
Right.
And you can unlearn them. You can
Right.
retrain, whatever the symptoms are.
Right.
So, yeah, you're not broken and you don't have to have these symptoms forever.
Right. And
That you can turn things around
yeah,
and have the life you want.
with your help.
And absolutely, that would be
Yeah,
making it a lot faster.
I love that.
Yeah.
Susan, this has been wow. Just as a wow episode. I told you it would be good, right? See, I get to talk to people, but now you know what we talk about. I just wanted to thank you so very much for being such a special guest on the Fabulous Women Podcast Studio. And I absolutely want you to come back at some point.
Oh, I definitely will.
I know
I
you
will.
will.
And you're fabulous. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. I always do this in closing, everyone, and I'm going to keep doing this. It's my mission. Everyone knows that I love women and I support women and I promote women. It's just always been something that I've done even since I think I was 4 or 5 years old. What I'm asking everyone is to please support other women. Don't let women, whether they're Gen Z, whether they're 100 years old, or any place in between, please don't make them have to kick down doors or go through brick walls in order just to be successful or want to do something that they want to do. We should be opening those doors for them in a world that hopefully is getting better, but we still have a really long way to go. Also, I want everyone to stay tuned because I have some big announcements coming up. My brand is expanding, so I can't tell you now, but please, if you're on LinkedIn, please look for me. Please follow me. Also for my YouTube episodes, they're all great, especially the one that I just had with Susan Louie. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. And until the next time, everyone, stay fabulous.
Can I just add to that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
When you're living out of survival, you're going to come from scarcity. Okay. We can help each other, like what you were saying, women
Yes.
helping each other and men too.
Absolutely.
Instead of coming from scarcity, just be gracious and just give. I give away my secrets to insomnia because I'm not coming out of scarcity. I'm coming from abundance.
Absolutely.
And when we all come from abundance, that's how we can really help each other.
Absolutely.
And I know a lot of people get triggered when they give away things because then they think, oh, then there's less for me. But that's an old limiting belief.
Yes.
The more you can give, the more you're going to get. And I really believe that. So I just give and give. And I think in the giving, you make the difference and you are a contribution.
Exactly. Wow. I could not have said any of that any better than you, Susan.
Okay.
So I just know that I talked about this when I opened up the podcast. Who do you want to be when you grow up? Susan Louie, Susan Louie, Susan Louie. Okay. She's fabulous. I know that all of you are fabulous, but stay fabulous until the next episode. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.